So we'll begin the program with the lighting of the lamp. Satyavarti and Dr. Venkatesh, Nagendra, Navi Vijay Shankar sir, and Shankar Gurumurthy. Ms. Satyavati Devdari to introduce the program. Kick off. Yes, please come.
Good morning again. Yes, okay. So, thank you very much for giving us on a long weekend, that too on a Sunday. You managed to come here for that. Let us pat ourselves, each of us. Yes? This is a great celebration of Data Privacy Day. Yes, having so many people on a Sunday, that too on virtual session as well. Thank you very much for being here. So just to introduce today's session, so you know why we all liked in our childhood rainbow? You know the reason why? Because there are so many colors in it. Yes? Very difficult to find. Yeah, I agree. Very difficult to find, 1 point. Second is, it has multiple colors. Anything with multiple colors or multiple diversities, very difficult to obtain. So you find diverse associations working here to make this happen for today's event. You know, one chapter which is actually purely cloud and cyber called CSA Bangalore chapter. And then we have a pure data privacy arm called FDPPI for India. And then we have a law school joining us, Manipal Law School. And we have NXP Semiconductors hosting us, so which is actually a different, completely from the other activities. And BSpin, who's actually taking care of quality initiatives and delivery excellence activities. So imagine, that looks like a rainbow, yes? It's very difficult to obtain one. And 5 different entities coming together and making this happen as a partner. Not just like I am first or you are first. That's something which is new for here. And for that, let me thank all the supporting associations. So what is that we want to cover? I'll just want to give a glimpse of today so that you understand how the day is going to go. So we will have fun-filling activities like quiz, which keeps coming every time. And you have a chance to become a child again. Fight for I am the winner, right? You want to be, right? Are you a child once or are you a child today also? Today also, correct? You are a child today. Yes or no? Who is not a child? Everybody is a child, right? So let us win also. That's the quiz. And next whole day you have keynote sessions, panel discussions, and fireside chats, where you get a chance to ask questions, interact, and learn from them. Just don't completely listen, but you keep some time for your Q&A. We are okay to extend. Most time is given or spared for people who actually invested time to come here. Yes? So more than the speakers, I actually appreciate you guys asking questions, sharing opinions. So be open to that and keep working on that. And then one more interesting thing which we can do here is like try to make it as interactive as possible, as much networking you can do. And yeah, that's what we can do best. With that said, and let me just give it back to the next speakers to continue the day. So Data Privacy Day is today, actually January 28th, right? And we are here celebrating that. Otherwise, you know, we will not be on a Sunday coming here, right? And one more element I want to tell before I leave. So last year, CSA Bangalore chapter started our monthly events from this location, NXP. The NXP hosted us. It's 1 year since we are doing this monthly meetups. So we are glad to be back, and thanks NXP for hosting us again. I know I am calling about one entity called CSA, but that's one thing we fondly call NXP for. Thank you, NXP, and back to you, sir, for the next.
The inaugural session by Mr. Praveen Kumar Mutupalli, and the topic is dealing with triad of data privacy, technology, and compliance.
Very good morning, everyone. What a day to start with, as she said. One is different kind of organizations coming together on the D-Day called Privacy Day. Extremely happy to meet each one of you here. And from FDPPI, on behalf of Mr. Navi, I take the privilege in really appreciating the efforts of. On behalf of FDPPI and Mr. Navi, we would like to really appreciate the efforts put by each and everyone for this making this D-Day as a very successful. We saw a kind of great discussions yesterday what we had. On this note, with this, Mr. Navi is going to hand over his latest book called DGPSI, which we little bit talked about it yesterday. We are going to have a great session in the afternoon. We will talk about it more, but we wanted to launch this book, and he wanted to, as a token of appreciation, to give his signature book, right? And with his signature, to start with, I would request Professor R. Venkat of MLS to come and receive the book from Mr. Navi. Please come. Give a big hand to them. It's a great on MLS to participate with us, spearheading this privacy movement. A great moment for all of us. I also would request Satya. Madam, from CLN. Yes. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much for your efforts, really appreciate. And I would like to call upon Mr. Shankar Gurumurthy from NXP. So nice of you to really help us. And I would like to request Mr. Nagendra, one of our director of FDPPI, who had really spearheaded the whole event, working closely with all the organizations. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you very much, all of you. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day. Looking forward to have a good interactions today. Thank you.
Thank you, Navi sir, for the wonderful book that he has written. We have not read it. And may I invite Navi sir to felicitate Satyavati. Thank you, sir. Now, next is the talk by Mr. Praveen Kumar Mutupalli.
Morning, everyone. Are you all excited today? For what are we excited? Sunday or Privacy Day? Privacy Day. Okay. Yeah. My daughter, when she was 5 years old, she was drawing some greeting card for me on my birthday. And then when I tried to peep in and see, she was just telling, Daddy, privacy. So, 5-year child knowing about privacy, like she didn't want me to peep in. So kids are also knowing privacy very much. And similarly, my son at that point of time when we didn't have access for television at home, using the artifacts of diagrams and all, nice graph, keeping in the bedroom, putting a like button, subscribe button. So kids are seeing and watching it. I believe it's very important that privacy is one of a key ingredient where we are going through the journey. And today I'm here and I would request you to lend your 20 minutes of time, okay, just to hear about. Okay, a small kind note, you may see in the top, and all my views presented are personal over here. And yep. So why do we celebrate Data Privacy Day? So the main point is it gives a chance and importance of respecting privacy, protecting data, and building trust. So do you think trust is very important? Or no? Absolutely right. Right, exactly. And trust in privacy is one of the key component. We have been hearing about ethics and compliance in the offices and all, which talks about trust and all. But now the new thing is about privacy, which we need to ensure we adapt to it. Okay? And why do we celebrate Data Privacy Day? So worldwide they do it, right? So here I'm very excited that we have CSA, FDPPI, Manipal Law School, NXP, BSPIN. So all of them jointly, they're doing this. What are they trying to do? So on Privacy Day worldwide, this is what everybody does. Awareness, trainings, knowledge sharing, education, and a community build-up. So it's a very good opportunity for all these forums to make all the communities come over here on this special Sunday, especially Bangalore, okay, where early morning is tough to get up, right? So you all are here to celebrate it, and let's celebrate it and make it a fruitful day today. Okay, so how to deal with the triad of privacy, technology, and compliance? So earlier, many used to talk about security and all, but now very important point also is privacy. So we have a famous jargon in India, right? Roti, kapda, makan. Now we also got roti, kapda, privacy, and makan. Is that right? So privacy is one of the integral part of it. So I would not try to make you bombarding. Just would like to take an analogy of a car. So because car, all of us connect, right? All of us. Good example. How many of you don't drive? Can raise up your hand. I see all of us are driving. Okay. So when we see the car, the way it works, so we have the combination of gear, clutch, and the clutch pedal. We got the engine, which is the main component, right? So engine is there, but we don't have other components. Can it go on? It cannot, right? So when we talk about two-wheel drive, that is one factor. When we have the four-wheel drive, we got the mating of the engine with the gearbox. Is it required? Okay, very much. And now we got all-wheel drive all the time. So it's all up to the technology getting enhanced into the cars and embedding into. So I'm trying to correlate this analogy with data privacy. So how a car works, as you could see here, these are the main components. If these are there, things will move. Agree with? We also see on the highway, right, some trucks going on with a chassis and a single driver. So we know what they make. They can make a Volvo bus, they can make a truck, whatever they want to. Okay, it's all the main ingredients. So here, how do we manage the triad of data privacy, technology, and compliance? So when we see, the main thing is data. So all of us have the very key thing, which is data where we try to work upon, and everybody has got their own view. IT team has got their own view on data, legal their own view, security their own view, and now getting into privacy is a new big baby into the corporates. So there are corporates which have taken care of privacy, but it is a big thing. Why? Because there's a confusion at times. People think privacy can be blended with IT, privacy can be blended with security. We already were taking care of it. Isn't it right? So just like that, we need to ensure we make a chassis or a framework within the company. How do we operate? Okay, so we got the famous things. If you're car enthusiasts, we know cars are made in their own form, right? Mahindra Thar has got its own form factor. Okay, Volkswagen got its own factor. Renault got their own form factor. They call as K9K engine, or Tata with their own thing. So this is what sells the company with their new product. So likewise, my intention of putting this car analogy is that within the company, if we define how these components of data privacy, technology, and compliance, these all are blended, is what you need to make a framework upon. Do you agree with me? If you don't agree, raise up your hands. Okay. So this is where we need to ensure we take up the journey of privacy onto. And by the way, how many of you put in efforts in your corporates to bring up this type of framework? Can you raise your hands? I could see a few hands, right? Good. Okay. Okay. I think the top slide is missing. So let's just drill into the triad of privacy, technology, compliance further. So I just put this small thing just to refresh our minds. The traditional data protection approach in the 1980s till 2000s, always we had the mechanism of backup restore, having a RAID, replication, archiving, data retention. These are all about data. Does it ring your bells? This is what companies invested, and they always wanted to see data is being taken care of. Okay, so the IT departments have done this with their good storage concepts. Okay, now again, after 2000s, we have a new era wherein we had the data security concept. Some people even think cyber security team means data security team. Right? I always tell one more analogy about my daughter. When I don't go to office, when she was small, she used to ask, Daddy, if you don't go, who will take care of the main gate security? So for her, I work in cyber security, but she thinks I take care of the security of the building. No wrong in that, but that's how she thinks about. The companies also, many people come thinking, sir, I want my data to be protected. That's where people have come. That's wherein we had the analogy of technology with encryption and breach access, data loss prevention, which is very much there. DLP is the most famous thing, right? Okay, so that's, we know the myths of DLP and pitfalls of DLP, how it all went on to technical implementations. This is only where I would like to say that where data has been only secured within the perimeter. But there was no privacy angle with these products. So do you think privacy is required to be blended? Very much there. Okay, so data privacy now, we have the new things coming up along with compliance, legislations, policies, best practice, and the global variations, data governance, third-party contacts. So all these are blended to make the privacy and compliance onto it. Okay, I would like to make it simple onto this. So these are the main things wherein I think when we go to a good five-star hotel, we got a good menu, right? In-room dining menu is there. We got the coffee shop menu there. Buffet menu is there. So likewise, companies, we need to ensure that we make handy the menus for each and every audience at the company. So all fear about the C-suite, will they follow or not? So make a C-suite friendly, comfortable menu. That is a policy and procedure where they can be able to understand about privacy. Okay, so that's the reason I just have taken the example of the car analogy. Why? Because everybody has got their own view on it, and I think it's tough to deal with the subject of the triad where we are trying to deal up with. And important thing about malicious insiders. Okay, so many have got it. I think we have been seeing in the news also about malicious insiders which are coming on to. At times you could also see me on Navi sir's blog also, it details very much on incidents happening in India. Okay, so I would like to also mention that in privacy, we also need to do behavior analysis. So if we don't do the behavior analysis, we would not know who is breaching what. Okay, why? Because most of the time we are thinking there is a SOC team is there is a storage concept is there, data logging is there, everything is there. But the point is that the behaviors of the employees can also actually on the news anytime talking about breaches done from insiders. And that is a big thing. Okay, so yeah. And other important point I would like to mention that we have a lot of things. India is now a small baby with data privacy. Okay, so we had aborted one baby before with the new past bill and got the new bill also now. So now we are going with this. Okay, and you also know that we got a lot of regulations worldwide. So different are there, like GDPR is there, California law is there, all these things. So I would like to mention also we need to ensure that how we do the geographically variations in terms of privacy. Everything has got certain times some conflicts. But the common thing is that in most geographies, privacy is a legal concept and not a technology. Agree with that? Okay. So this is what I would like to mention. Okay. Is my talk okay with small 20 minutes? Thank you. If not, I will back again. Thank you. Any questions you have?
Satya, and thank you, sir. The next talk is on privacy.
You heard all those nitty-gritties of what's happening in data privacy and technology and compliance, right? All three you understood, huh? Or some of them. Some of them understood, some of them okay, chalta hai. Right? I know, that happens in classroom. Okay, let's see who wins this prize, right? I'll just keep moving. Whoever raises hand first, and also one more subjective condition, whoever I see first. Okay. So, because I don't know, I can't see everybody, right? I'll try to be in a place where I can see you all. Let's see the question. Okay.
Enhance customer trust and protect sensitive information.
Why? Why that is the right answer?
So, like, we need to have build trust and those for compliance and those things, right? Customers need to come to the company and we need to protect their data.
That's why the compliance is needed, not for just speeding up that data processing.
No.
No?
No.
Okay. Does it help actually reducing technology cost?
Yeah, like kind of sometimes technology cost, I'm not aware.
Not aware. Anybody can say whether compliance increases cost or not? Short term, not increases. Short term, it decreases. Short term, it increases. Okay, short term, it increases. Excellent, excellent. Okay, I think we don't have that many prizes, only one. Now we are. One more. Come, one question. Okay, it's only one question it seems, so you only have one chance. Next time, be careful. Huh? Okay.
Satya, and thank you, the winner. The next talk is on privacy concerns in an AI age by Mr. Rajiv Panikar.
So first of all, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you all the organizers here. We have MLS, we have FDPPI, we have CSA, then BSPIN and NXP. Thank you very much. So here actually my task is to set the context for this particular event. So I want to take you through a journey. I mean, most of you are privacy implementers. Can I assume? Yes. Okay. So what are the privacy principles? I just want to take you to the fundamentals here. Transparency, yes. Data minimization, purpose limitation. Fantastic, fantastic. So why we need these principles? What is the need of these principles actually? So now the other side we have GDPR, we have India Privacy Act, we have 27701, we have NIST privacy guidelines are there. Okay, so why we need these privacy principles? See, if we see all these laws and standards or frameworks, we can see this are all built based on these privacy principles. Only difference is they will take it up as individually, or sometimes actually they will take it up combinedly. But the fundamental things for every standard or every law are these privacy principles. So now why we need a law and why we need a standard? Okay. The fundamental difference between a standard and a law is standards are built for compliance for the organizations. Okay. And privacy laws are looking from an individual angle Now, I myself as an individual, whether this organization have that capability to protect my privacy rights. Okay. So there, whatever the standard you have, it doesn't material. It doesn't matter to any organization actually. Whatever the standard, you have 27701 or we have 27001 or NIST or anything. But at the end of the day, by implementing all these things, are you able to respect the privacy rights of an individual? That is the most important thing. So as an individual, if I have a doubt, okay, if this particular organization is not meeting the requirements or not respecting my privacy rights, then I have every right to go to a court and challenge it. So that is the primary difference between a framework or a standard and a law. That's why we always discuss, yesterday also we discussed a lot actually. Complaints to a standard is not equivalent to complaint to a privacy law. Okay, now coming to this privacy principles and framework. Hope now everybody are familiar with what are these things. And these are the framework. So what are the elements of a framework? So for every framework, we have actors or the roles involved. Can you give me one or two actors' name quickly? Because controllers, processors, whatever it is. Okay. Then we have the interactions between actors. Then most important thing is the identification of the PIA or the personal information. Because otherwise we will not be able to protect anything actually. Then based on the PIA, then we need to identify what are the safeguarding principles or safeguarding controls we need to have it. And then based on that we need to establish the policies and then the controls. So these are the framework. Now the question is what is my topic? My topic is privacy in AI. So you must be wondering actually why I am going through all these things, these fundamental things here. Because I just want to establish some difference between these concepts when it comes to artificial intelligence. Now tell me, where all we use AI? Exactly, everywhere. And what it needs? AI? Data. It is all about data, all about managing the data. Right? Okay. Now, can you give me some examples actually where exactly AI will be there? Autonomous vehicles. Anyway, I mean, autonomous vehicles becomes a target for everybody, including for me actually, for this presentation. So, anything else? Language, yes. Factories, WhatsApp, healthcare. What about your at home side actually? You have smart homes now. Refrigerators. Okay. And how AI works in all these things? First is about the data collection. Okay. For data collection, what we need? The sensors, IoT devices or IIoT devices. Okay. Or historians, that what we called actually, I mean the operational technology terms. These are things which collect the information, collect the data for you, and it will process it somewhere else. Okay. Now, how a refrigerator can be, a smart refrigerator can be a challenge for your privacy. We are all familiar with actually how we manage this data in the organization and everything. Yes. Preferences. Okay. I will give a small example actually. All the smart refrigerators now with biometric. So I am not talking about the protection of this biometric data. Okay. I am talking about the utilization of this data in the right way. So now when you have biometric, assume that your home you have 4 people. So definitely we have to register the biometric of all 4. Okay. Now your refrigerator is monitoring who is opening. Okay, what item he is taking it out. Okay, what kind of this person is. Okay, this person needs this one. This person needs this particular items. And their profiling is happening. Okay, and where this data goes? So now how we are going to protect it? Think about these privacy principles. What is the first one? Consent. Okay, how we are going to meet the consent here? Are you giving that consent to whom you are going into? To the dealer or to the manufacturer? So that is a challenge. That is the biggest gray area we have actually. So how we are going to meet these requirements, meet these privacy principles in AI? Okay. So now coming to the car case itself. So I have a few other slides. I mean, I just skipped those things. So when it comes to a car, I'm not talking about an automated car. I'm talking about a connected car. Now we all have a connected car. Agree? Okay. Now, do you know actually how much data a connected car generates? Guess? Wild guess? A connected car, how much data it can collect? See, the latest study says that it collects around 25 gigabytes of data per hour. Per hour. And so definitely it don't have that capability to keep all these things. Okay. So what is happening actually? It collected through around 200, 250 sensors within the car. And this data is being transmitted to different people, different stakeholders. Okay. To the OEM or the manufacturer, the infotainment guy. So if you see, you can search in the net, search for connected car ecosystem. You will be surprised. For every car, there are around 300 plus partners involved in that one. Okay. So now we don't know where exactly this information is going, where this data is going. And right now we don't have any mechanism to give a consent. Again, the question is, to whom I have to sign the consent here? Is it with the dealer? Or is it with the manufacturer? Or is it with the infotainment guy? Now the new cars actually, they are coming out with a feature. They will give you an application. Because that's what actually it is agreed. You will have an application for your car in your mobile. They are like you install your applications in your mobile phone. That it will give you an interface to connect your car. So there you can install whatever the applications you required for your car. Okay, there you can give the consent. But I don't know actually. I'm still not convinced whether that is really adequate or not. Sorry. Can you go back? No, a few more slides. I think. Skipped from my hand. Back. 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 Okay. See now, coming to a car actually, so just to give an idea, these are all actually, it works. You have advanced connectivity, you have smart sensors here, vehicle diagnostics, there are full self-driving cars are there, their components, we have more components actually. Then there is a vehicle to everything is also there. The vehicle will speak to everything around you. I mean, everything means it will speak to the parking slot, it will speak to your fuel stations, everything. Or it will speak to the other vehicles also. Okay, so that's what we call it as a V2V, that is a vehicle-to-vehicle connection or connectivity. Then we have the entertainment systems. So everything is there. And this profiling, this is very important actually. So this is not only for a smart fridge, This is applicable for even for now the Vande Bharat trains also. You have a seat. There you have the infotainment systems are there. You are selecting some movie or something to watch. Your seat number is there. All the details are there with the railways. And your preferences are there. What you would like to watch. And it is easy. I mean, that profiling is done. And we don't know actually where exactly this data is going. And we don't have any consent when we take a train ticket. So that's why actually the challenge with not only with AI, all the industry 4 technologies. That is very critical actually. Artificial intelligence, starting with AI, we have digital twins, or it's all connected to digital twins and other things actually. We have virtual reality, we have embedded reality, we have mixed reality. So all these things are there. So everywhere we have these challenges. So do you agree to this one? So consent and choice is the most complex process in an AI setup, because unless we don't know the interactions and underlying complexities, it will be very difficult to see where this data is going. Because that is one of the primary principles of data security, the data visibility. If you don't have the data visibility, then we will not be able to protect that information. And this is also very important, openness, transparency and notice. That's what we discussed. So now all the AI systems are opaque and it's very difficult to understand. And that's what typically happens when you have a latest application. Okay, how many days you will take to understand that one? Now how many of you know actually how the Google map works? How it collects that data and how it puts that traffic analysis there? Do we have any idea how it works? No? Oh, sorry. Based on the location. So all this information, it's going actually. So I need to rely on large amount of data. Then potential for bias. Bias is important. What is bias? It is about what data we are feeding into the AI. Okay, how we train that AI system. So based on that, the system can behave either in the right way or wrong way. What may be right for me may not be right for you. So that's how I train my AI system with the data I have, so that it will act based on my rights and my wrongs. Okay. And then what is the right balance between privacy and transparency? That is also very important. And now, what is the need of the hour? So we can easily protect our systems, the organizations, our processes. Okay, but what about the products? We are all talking about the products. And that is the fundamental thing we need to do it. For any product, okay, we need to, catch them young. Means when we design itself, we need to attribute what characteristics it should have when it becomes a product. So that's why actually privacy by design, we talks about the privacy by design. That's why privacy by design becomes a very critical principle in the coming days. Because now everything is product. Okay. Forget about the process. Process we can manage it. Still, if we have the data visibility and everything, in the, especially IT systems and other things, we can manage it. But when it comes to a product, it will be difficult. So now, there are developments actually. It is not like, okay, we will not be able to meet those things. Definitely we can meet. But there are multiple developments happened actually in this field. That is, one of the thing is, there is a standard called privacy by design. So we can follow those things. What are those guidelines and other things for the privacy by design, but it is still at the very infant stage. It needs to go through a different versions. Okay. And where exactly these products are there, and what are those areas or what industries are more prone to privacy risk now? Whatever the products coming in healthcare, maybe Ramesh will talk about actually some of the healthcare products. So healthcare, automotive, or railways, aerospace. So we call it as all together as mobility. So mobility is very critical. And that's where actually we have very good security controls, but we don't have the privacy controls. And BFSI, you all know actually, I mean, why privacy is critical and why we are not able to manage it, because day to day, every day we can see minimum 100 or 200 cases of cyber frauds are happening. This is all, I mean, collecting your personal information, they are doing it. Okay. And then the hospitality, the travel agencies, hotels and other things, everywhere actually we are sharing our information. But hospitality area is one area where we have less products, more systems. More systems mean more software systems, but not many other products. So now, we need to see what we need to do it. So most important thing is on the responsible AI. Okay. So before responsible AI, for every responsible AI, so first we should know what is the life cycle of an AI system or any product. What are the different steps it involved? So for starting with integrating the design and operation of privacy controls to the product development and management cycle, I'm talking about very high level, okay. Then design privacy controls based on the privacy risk assessment. Then test, validate, implement and monitor controls throughout the PA's life cycle. Then set your control acceptance, the thresholds, criteria, and then what controls we need to undertake it. And then we need to think about product transition. Product transition means when you come out with a new version of a product, okay, what we need to do, or during even the decommissioning of that product, and then design, implement and operate those controls. What are those controls required? And design and operate privacy controls in those areas which support that product. And the responsible AI. What is responsible AI? Can we call any AI systems as responsible? We have to make it responsible. Okay, AI system cannot be responsible. It is our responsibility to make that AI system responsible. Yes, exactly. So these are some of the guidelines to make an AI system responsible. So start with there should not be any discrimination, no biasing. So we need to design the AI system such a way that there should not be any harmful discrimination. That is very important. Okay. And then we need to have a governance mechanism for AI. That is also for responsible AI governance. It is not just a governance, how AI system works and other things, but we need to think about actually how this system is going to work responsibly in my work area or my industry or for my business, based on my business ethics, based on my regulations. So that is very critical. So we need to have that AI governance. And then wherever is possible, we need to give the disclosures. But still, I don't know actually how we are going to make the disclosures, especially in an automotive industry, where hundreds of partners are there. And then protect this personal data while at rest and in transit, because that is very critical. The data is not residing on place especially when it comes to products or AI. It is being processed, it is being transmitted. So data is moving from one place to another place. And then all these tools should be designed and operated with informed human sight and engagement. That is important. So all the systems, okay, whatever the system we have, at the end of the day, for AI systems are designed to give you suggestions, solutions. It is not to give you or not to take any decisions. The decision is with you. Based on the AI system, whatever the suggestions it gives, it is up to you. You take a decision. That's how the systems are designed. That's what we call the responsible AI. And then, most importantly, alternative review procedures. We need to move away from our standard way of doing the reviews. Because whenever an AI system is there, we have the data. That means some of the areas are completely automated. So whatever you are doing the reviews may not be effective now. So you have to find alternative ways to do those reviews. And this alternative ways of doing the reviews also not static. Those procedures also we need to keep in change based on what data goes into the system and how this AI system is behaving. Okay. So that's from my side. So any questions? Yes.
Okay. And which is legally binding. You don't need to have a concern. You go and sue today. That's where consumer protections, all these regulations comes across the country of addressing the remedies to individual. When it comes to distributor, the moment you create an invoice, that's a legally binding contract. So contract is nothing but we all think there is some standard terms. It doesn't matter. The moment you pay, it creates a binding contract, and which is again equally a strong position than the concern. I think that's my 2 cents of thought.
Yes. Thank you.
OEM is also equally accountable along with the supplier. They should also get validate through various mechanisms how best they meet their regulatory requirements as per the business requirements or any kind of a legal requirements. I would say always this accountability lies with the OEM to validate supplier, any kind of a supply chain, entire in their manufacturing process. I would say that.
Yes. Anyway, I mean, due to time limitations, actually, yeah.
Why it's probably done in healthcare is that it is directly harming the individual, end consumer. So here in the other industry, it is not adopted because it's like maybe it didn't come out like directly harming the individual, right?
I tell you very honestly, even for a high-level audit today, we put so much effort, right, in terms of making sure that whether it is a HIPAA regulation or a privacy regulation, because it is a patient, full stop. Something I do go wrong, over. And then what is the... So I think going forward, I think we are all the same page.
So anyway, I think I am successful in achieving my objective to create this discussion. So for creating this...
Yeah, one last.
So thank you very much. Thank you.
In HIPAA requirement, before the Omnibus Rule of 2013, right after that, business associates also equally accountable along with covered entity. That is what the expectation is. Yes, sir.
Is it that today, because they might not be published and accepted standards as to how to write secure code for artificial intelligence, right? So maybe that's what the EU AI Act is doing. Once those standards are there, I think at least to what extent who is responsible in the supply chain might be at least settled to some extent. Today it might be in individual dispute, you have to go to court of law, and whatever the court decides, that might become the benchmark, right? But I think that is here is where the standards come in.
So there are some standards coming up actually. So there are standards coming up now for like 42,000 or even DNV came out with an assurance standard. Yeah. Exactly.
Because earlier review will not work out here.
See, use cases has to be developed. Use cases has to be
Excellent.
developed for various scenarios. So, and I mean, see, for example, one other thing is that for Indian roads, this thing may not even work. Yes.
Correct. See,
actually false results. Yes.
See, I agree that actually, I mean, lot of work has to be put on actually, I mean, to come to an... yes.
Thank you so much, Raju sir, for wonderful presentation, and I was so excited hearing all the discussion going on. My question is very specific. So AI in today's time, it is mainly the use cases around making the automated profiling for the businesses. My question is around AI being used in the gaming industry specifically to enhance their products aligned to the end users, and gaming products are mainly consumed by the children. So now, DPDPA does not permit any automated profiling for children. How the bot, how the AI based on their LLM is going to be identifying that the data points it is capturing is of a child or of an adult, and going to be not feeding it for an automated profiling if it is of a child data. How are AI going to be intuitive enough to make that decision and stop the automated profiling?
That's where actually the concept of responsible AI Okay, when I say responsible AI, it is the responsibility of that organization to come out with an AI system which meets those legal requirements. Now, in India, if we have a requirement like that, definitely, I mean, we cannot train the AI systems for that thing. Yes. Yes, yes.
Excellent interaction. I think this is the right time to go for a break, right? Okay. Abhi, I think we need to do the quiz. I think questions are good, huh?
Quiz also has to be one letter answer or one this thing answer.
No multiple choice.
No multiple choice, they are long answers.
We have been trained now how to pick up the answer.
AI for the quiz. How to this thing answer, that's why it's come out.
Yeah, and also thanks for starting this discussion, Mr. Rajiv. In the afternoon, as you know, NXP, we are into self-driving cars. We do develop infotainment software. And our DPO, the Data Privacy Officer, our objective is also to explain you from GDPR perspective, not from DPDPA, from GDPR perspective, how NXP, as a manufacturer of chips which are going into self-driving cars, radar chips, yeah, we will try to explain. Thanks for the discussion. Thank you.
Directly quoting your this thing only.
Yes.
Indirectly you are implying
First, we'll have the cues. Okay. The felicitation, may I invite Mr. Nagendra to felicitate Mr. Rajiv Panikar. Thank you very much. Time for cues before we break for tea.
Questions, I think there will be a lot of people. Maybe you will ask questions for quiz, huh? Next time. We'll do that. Ready? All geared up? Energized. Question, please. Already raised their hand. Okay.
See. That's one of the loophole, but I think if you see organization effectively balance the triad into this, because by integrating the privacy is one of the concern. So if you see into technology design and whatever the Mr. Rajiv discussed, I think all points cover in that area.
By design.
Privacy by design is the keyword, it seems. Your name, sir? Ashish wins the prize. Let's clap, Navya. Based on the interactive levels, it happens whole day. We might increase more questions. As of now, one. We got one more. Okay, hold on. So one more question, please. Can you send? Can you give one more question on this? On this. I saw the hand already. He raised it before the question come.
Answer is B. Bias.
Or no? Okay.
That's one of. No, that's one of the concerns that drives. That's one of the key concerns in the area of privacy in terms of AI is deployed, right? So that's what I learned from Rajiv sir's presentation.
So why not the concern is inadequate data storage?
I don't think so. We are not talking about the storage of the data here, right? We are worried about the privacy of the data being stored. So that's when that's not the right answer.
I am still not getting the keyword. Why? Why that is the right answer? You will get the. Don't worry. I'll come back.
I think when we talk about AI, we are talking about data set and how we train it. So the type of data that you use to train it, that is where if you don't select it consciously, you can have a bias in your system. That is why bias and discrimination is the keyword here.
Exactly. It is wrong statement. See, it's not Amazon. Okay, there is a recruitment issue. Maybe I'll go that way. I'm not discriminating Amazon or somebody, but the point what we are saying is, you know the story, ma'am? You want to speak about that? Yeah.
The Amazon has, that's something, okay, let's say that some organization has developed the recruitment applications, okay? It's an AI enabled. I think today everyone does that application development. primarily with the app of and data scraping and profiling. What we were all discussing about profiling, it does the profiling. Today, every job post, I think it's thousands and thousands of applications are hitting the accounts. So how do they do? The basic first level and second level profilings are categorized by the system default. So no one has validated how it is doing, or probably the early nascent stage of an application they would have done. At the later point, they realized it is some features, okay? It's based on the job skill. Even the organization tried to pick up an female employees. It is picking up from the always a male candidate or whoever. The choice has been decided by the AI, which is not very transparent and not explaining why it is picking up. Okay, why it has chosen Deepa's profile, not Shinjai's profile. So you couldn't categorize. Probably Shinjai may be more qualified or fit to the job. So this is a difference which has been created. I think later point they have identified their internal system, and I'm not sure they re-engineered again or what they have done. But this was a major issue which came in the public media, especially the early days of AI and the recruitment related apps. Yeah.
Use case. Yeah, discrimination. Yeah. This is a case about biasing towards recruitment while using AI. Okay, next, I think we are done with the 2 questions.